Today's an today's a special day because it's episode 75, so welcome. And I was just deciding on what book to read next after reading Animal Farm. I don't remember I don't remember if I've mentioned it. I think I did. But Animal Farm is not the book I was expecting it to be. And a fun story is that I decided to read that one because of my favorite stand-up comedian, which is which is a Mexican guy. So he, I, I don't even remember. It was he was just making fun of something, and then he came up with he brought it up like the name of the book, and I thought it was like just a fiction book about whatever. Like it was just a stupid book. Not stupid, but just simple and not with that not with such a profound meaning, if that makes sense. And so I'm really glad I read it, and it's just sad to know that is a fiction book that represents what happens in reality, what has happened. And they use a farm, they use pigs to make a point, is that power corrupts, and the story can be told tweaking a little points to manipulate and change the course of what comes next. That even though a few know what happened, what actually happened, if they're the ones telling the story, they can change things. They can tweak little details to then make the others who don't know the truth or who can't remember the truth accept that as a fact. Like they can just manipulate it by convincing them by just neglecting the truth. And so that is frustrating because it happens, and it will always happen because humans tend to we tend to lie, we tend to hide those details that may affect us, we tend to manipulate, and we tend to seek power above it all. We tend to control what we can't control. And that leads to hurting others and just using others for your own good. And it's just like a facade. I'm not sure if that's the right word. Facade. I think I'm using it right. And it's just a facade to make things look better than they are, according to status quo. I'm not sure if this makes sense. I'm just saying some bullshit out loud. But that was a good book. It was worth reading, and so I was done last night, and today I just wanted to look for something new to read. And since I have my Kindle, which this thing is so awesome, I was looking for books to download to my Kindle for free, and I found this website called Public Domain Library, and it's an amazing website which just shares public domain books. And I also found out that at least here in the US, I think it's 75, you're protected by copyright for 75 years or 95. No, I think it's 95 years. And if you die, then you have, it's 75 years since the moment you pass. Something like that. But the thing is that once the copyright protection ends, then your book goes into the public domain. So anybody can use the the book. They can adapt it, they can change it, they can just share it for free, and so this website is really really good. And I just downloaded Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, because I've been wanting to read that one for quite a long time. It was a couple of years ago, I think it's when it started to, as the Stoicism, it started to go viral, and then a lot of content creators started talking about it, and so it's been on the radar for a while, but I haven't actually read it. So I just downloaded, and we'll see how it goes. It looks like a worth reading book. And what I like the most is that I've been learning Greek in Duolingo for 3+ years. I don't know shit. But the goal behind learning Greek is to just read philosophers books in Greek, which is also hard because it's not the same Greek. Like modern Greek is not the same as old Greek, I guess. I don't know, ancient Greek or whatever it is. It's not the same, but I guess, but modern Greek evolved from those other types of Greek. So I thought, why not? So that's why I'm learning Greek, and I still can't form any coherent sentence. I think to say that I'm 27 years old is something like Ime ime ekosi epta chronin, something like that. And that's all. That's all I know. I know a bunch of words, but I don't know how to put them together to have a real conversation. But the thing is that, yeah, I'm gonna read that one. I hope eventually. I need to work on my Greek because I think my Duolingo is good. It just opened the door, but it's not gonna teach me Greek if I don't put more effort into it. I was What I was doing the other day when I learned how to say this, it was not from Duolingo per se. It was just from forcing myself to say it how I thought it was. It was horrible what I said. I'm not sure what I said, but the grok, which is in my car, that sounded weird. But I can talk to Grok when I'm driving. So I asked the AI if I was saying it correctly, and then the AI taught me how to say it supposedly, and so that's how I ended up learning it. But it was by actually speaking, because I was speaking to the AI in Greek. I mean English and Greek, but I was forcing myself to use the language, and that is a that is what I need. That's what I think helps learn a new language, because it doesn't serve me to know the grammar and to I it's not that it's not useful at all. It's just that by talking, I will use the language. I will actually learn, because otherwise, why bother if I can speak? It's nonsense. Even if I know all the grammar, if I can speak, it's useless. So so yeah, I think I need to work on that and just get a little more comfortable with the language. It would be so cool to speak Greek, like just to have it there for the sake of it. It just sounds fun to me, and so eventually be able to read in Greek, and that would be fucking awesome. Also, I just learned that Marcus Aurelius' actual name is Marcos Aurelius, and that is the same but not the same. And the thing is that I the way you write it in Greek is is easy to understand. At least I think for anybody that speaks either English or Spanish or any Roman language, if you could call it that. Because the letters are pretty similar. You have a little weird symbols and stuff, but it's a fun language. I think it's a fun language, and it's not a common one. Also, I was thinking the other day that to speak English is, yeah, it's great, and it opens the door to the world because everybody speaks English. I'm not like, I mean, everywhere you go, you could get away with things by speaking English. Even if the the country you're going to doesn't speak English. Like, that's the good thing about English, you could get away with things. But I was thinking the other day that, well, if we look for countries that speak English and countries that speak Spanish, we're a lot. Like in Latin America, we have all, it's, I don't know how many countries. We have what, 20, 30 countries. And then you have Spain, and then you have I think there's one or two countries in Africa who speak Spanish, or one, only one. I'm not sure, but Alexa, cállate. So there's a bunch of countries that speak Spanish, and there's a bunch of countries that speak English. But when you start to just looking into the amount of languages that are there, it's just it's just amazing. It's just impressive to think that, let's say, what's the population of Greece? 10.4 million people, and that's it. It's half Guatemala's population. Like, my country has more people than Greece, which means not that many people speak Greek. So to learn Greek is it's just a cool way to get to know a culture. Like, it's that I think is for me, the most beautiful part of learning languages. That it's not that I know a lot, I just know Spanish and English, and I'm trying to learn Greek. But again, there's not that many people speaking Greek. And if we look for smaller countries like, say, Croatia, which has 4 million people, and what's I guess the language is Croatian. Yeah, official language, Croatian. There's not many people that speak Croatian. I met a Croatian once in Guatemala. That was that was odd. It was good. But again, Serbia, Austria, let's see, Romania, Moldova, Ukraine. Fuck. There's just so many countries, so many different languages, and the fact that Spanish is spoken in so many countries gets rid of that feeling of uniqueness, I guess. I'm not saying Spanish is not great. I love it. It's so fun and it's my favorite language above everything. But there's a bunch of people that speak Spanish. And circling back around my point is that there are a few countries, there are a bunch of countries that speak their language, and that's it. So that's fun. That's fun to know. And I hope I learn Greek eventually. And I hope I can say more things that just I'm 27 years old. But that's it for today. I'm hungry. I'm gonna start eating this thing, and I hope it's worth it. I hope I learn a thing or two. I forgot to focus on my goal on this one, which is to speak. Fuck, sorry, which is to speak clearer and to how to say it, to not to do that, not to speak like with my mouth so closed, like just to force myself to pronounce the words, to enunciate, if that's a thing, correctly. Yo soy Bruno, and I'll see you in the next one.